time, we have no record of shots fired, no injuries. It's looking as if this was another swatting or hoax call.
That was the Assistant Chief of University of Arkansas Police on the situation that led the entire campus and other nearby schools to go on lockdown today.
Yeah, you heard him say it. After investigating several reports of an active shooter across campus, they found no evidence of any shots fired or any injuries. And right now, he says this appears to have been a hoax. Still, this led to tense moments on campus this afternoon. Emergency alerts went out to students and faculty, and law enforcement flooded the area. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman was one of the first people on the scene today.
Yeah, Laura, you even ordered to shelter in place just after you got there on campus.
Yes, that's right, Darren and Morgan. I was in a small room locked down with a group of students where emotions were visibly high. And students were also shaken up by the message they had received earlier, ending in words that no college student ever wants to hear: avoid, deny, defend.
I see FBI agents running around, which is super strange. Never seen that before. There's about 40 or so officers with rifles that surround the library.
Kane McWilliams is a senior at the University of Arkansas and was at the campus bookstore when the alert came in.
And I find out one of my friends is in the library, so I call her, and she's in that building right there, barricaded in the basement. And she starts hearing a whole bunch of louder noise from either the floor above or below. And then as soon as she gets outside the front, there's a whole bunch of officers with rifles yelling that everyone needs to get out. You never expect it to happen to your campus. You always hear weird stories, but it's always in some major city like Chicago or Atlanta. So for it to happen here where I go is kind of changes your perspective.
It's hard to even make thoughts on it, you know, like what I heard. It's always something, you hear it from somebody else, but then it happens to you.
Gabriel Hanna works at the Chick-fil-A at the university's union. They had no idea what was going on.
We didn't even get let known what was happening, and we only knew what was happening because there's like kids freaking out. I heard somebody saying like, oh man, I need to get my kids, I need to get out of here. And it went on for more than 2 seconds, so it's no longer a joke.
Hanna said he followed a group of other students to get to a safe place, as him and the other Chick-fil-A employees were wondering what was going on.
Confused. It's hard to even put words to the thought. It's not now. Right now, it's not really negative, but I'm sure I'll dwell on this.
Now, avoid, deny, and defend is a protocol put into place for the safety of staff and students. And campus police lifted the alert earlier today before 3 p.m. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Laura Castleman, 5 News.
Thanks, Laura. And as you've seen, law enforcement from across the area quickly responded after the reports started coming in. The massive police presence included multiple nearby agencies. Officers there on the scene say when there's a report of shots fired, every agency responds immediately.
So if there's ever a call on shots fired, we are in a very populated city. We're going to have everyone here as we do. Fayetteville Police, University of Arkansas Police, Washington County Sheriff's Office, Arkansas State Police. You're going to have FBI, HSI, multiple different agencies.
Fayetteville PD says the first call came in just around 12:30 this afternoon. Well, 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer has been on the U of A campus following the investigation into what happened. She joins us now with the latest from the university police and why they believe this appears to be a hoax. Lauren.
Yeah, obviously a very scary situation on campus today. And even though police say there was no evidence of an active shooter, and Assistant Chief Matt Mills here at UAPD says this appears to be a hoax, it still brought lots of fear and worry to a campus that started classes only a week ago. Mills says they received over 300 landline phone calls and 38 911 calls that covered 7 different buildings on campus, all reporting either a suspect or shots fired. After investigating multiple reports, police did not confirm or identify any active threats on campus. They lifted those lockdown protocols after all buildings were searched, he says. He mentioned this is almost 3 days to 25 years since the Kimple Hall murder-suicide incident. And he says, hoax or not, they'll find these individuals and prosecute them the amount they're able to.
If you looked at the emergency vehicles that were lined up down Maple Street, you could see how seriously we take these types of calls. And it isn't a joke. It's not funny. It's not something that we want folks to think, oh, let's see what kind of response they can get.
Mills says they're going to start looking into who and where these calls came from, and then consequences will follow. Darren Morgan, back to you.
All right, Lauren, thanks. Appreciate that. Now, the U of A campus wasn't the only place where the shooting report caused a lockdown. Several nearby schools in Fayetteville and Farmington were also on lockdown, while police confirmed that there was no threat.
The Mullins Library on the University of Arkansas campus was the location where the first reports came in.
Yeah, 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi caught up with people there through the lockdown and spoke with them about what they did to stay safe through the scary situation.
We're learning about the terrifying moment some students were alerted about reports of an active shooter. Some right here at Mullins Library barricading themselves inside to try to stay safe. University of Arkansas student Connor Danley says he was on the 4th floor of Mullins Library when panic broke out before he even knew what was happening. Once the alert came through about a possible active shooter, he joined others in a supply closet, barricading themselves inside. He says people were whispering, trying to stay quiet while rumors circulated, but nothing had been confirmed. Danley says there were no gunshots heard, just the sound of shuffling, shouting, and the alert that set everything in motion.
We moved a printer, kind of like a wardrobe closet, shelves, any large object we could to barricade the door. And I'd say that you couldn't open the door. It took us a while to get out.
At the University of Arkansas, covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Many faculty and staff at the U of A were also put on alert when this all unfolded this afternoon.
5 News reporter Claire Everbot continues our team coverage. Claire, how was faculty feeling after all this happened?
Darren Morgan, university faculty was here along with hundreds of students and law enforcement. I spoke to one professor who was really just trying to get clarity on what was happening. She was inside when the active shooter alert went out. She says there was a lack of information.
Actually, we're all a little confused as to why we're outside, to be honest, why we were asked to leave the building, but we're not being told anything. We don't know anything besides this.
I saw it. The university says counseling and psychological services are available for students, and the employee assistance program is available for employees. For now, live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
All right, Claire, thank you. Now, anytime breaking news happens in the area, of course, you can follow it all on as it happens with our free 5 News Plus app. It's free to download for your smart TV. Just text the word plus to 785-5000. We'll send you back instructions on how to get it to your smart TV.
Well, the University of Arkansas was not the only school dealing with reports of shots fired in the past few days. Several universities across the country have had similar incidents, all later determined to be hoaxes. Today it happened at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville and at Iowa State. Yesterday, the University of South Carolina reported the same thing. Last Thursday, it was Villanova in Pennsylvania. So far, authorities haven't said who might be behind any of these cases.